At the bow of the ship's boat, Vice stood and surveyed the island she'd chosen. A hill rose at its center, and a slender stream carved a line through the rainforest so they'd have fresh water. Sun beat upon the curve of a white sandy beach. If they were smart, they'd light a signal fire there, attract the attention of some passing ship. If they weren't, they'd die. There were plenty of ways to die on an island like this. Scorched by the sun, thirst, starvation, poisoned by a tasty-looking mansion eel, or the simple violence of one-time colleagues turned competition for food and water.
"Why do you listen to those animals?"
The former captain's gruff voice rose behind her. She sighed and rolled her eyes, turning to him. He huddled in the boat with his surviving crew. Even torn, his blue coat, so like a navy uniform, must have been baking in this sun. But he kept it on. Maybe he was clinging to some sense of order. The 15 men around him eyed her from beneath lowered eyebrows, mouths set, some with bloodied noses or cut foreheads. Between them, 10 of the Morrigan's crew sat at the oars, backs to her. Beyond, at the little craft's tiller, Perry raised her eyebrows at Vice, a grin making her teeth flash bright against her sun-beaten skin. She was enjoying this almost as much as Vice. It wasn't every day you got to maroon the officers of a slave ship. "Those animals," Vice said, shaking her head. "Tisk, tisk, Captain. That's exactly why you're in this mess."
"I'm in this mess because you're a pirate. But I thought even the notorious Lady Vice would put the well-being of her own countrymen above some foreign slaves."
"My own countrymen understand Albion outlawed slavery centuries ago. My own countrymen understand that owning another person is an affront to the Fae, and they'd never court such disaster as pissing them off so bloody royally. The moment you took slaves on your ship, you ceased to be Albionic, in my book. Never mind the fact it was plain wrong to claim to own another person. The way he spoke, he'd never understand that." She stood over him, looking down at his miserable face. "And away with your damn scruples flew any leniency I might have shown you for the sake of our shared country." The muscles in his jaw rippled, seething. This might require some intervention. With a breath, she opened her fey-blooded gift to the rolling sea beneath them. The tide pushed its way towards the small island. A current drifted across the shore. Further out, beyond their ship, the Morrigan anchored 100 feet away. A stronger current streamed northwest. The sea was an extension of her, or rather she an extension of it. It was far larger, far older, far more than her, just another creature in its domain. Lips thinning, nostrils flaring, the former captain surged towards her. How predictable. Bracing, she pulled on the current, stilling it for a second. The boat jolted, and the former captain stumbled, landing on his knees and the fists he'd intended for her. "Oh, please do." She drew her fey-worked pistol and aimed at his head. "Please give me an excuse to splatter your brains all over your crewmates." She pressed the muzzle into his forehead and smiled. She wouldn't shoot an unarmed man, but he didn't need to know that. Chest heaving, he glared up at her. His shoulders slumped, and he sank back in place with the rest of his men.